Hello all, welcome to Embedded Linux Learning Point, Linux from Scratch 11.1, Episode 20. In this episode, let's start building from the Perl package. For that, first we extract the package xvf Perl. Okay, sorry. Dot exit. I think it has a patch. Need to update the patch. Apply the patch. And the Perl package contains the practical extraction report language. As we saw uh, the contents before when we're building uh, for the tool chain, and cd perl. Okay, and it looks like it will take quite some time. It's okay. Installation of Perl. First apply a patch that fixes an issue highlighted by recent version of gdpm. Okay, let's play the patch. Patch is applied. This version of Perl now builds the compress raw zlib and compress raw bzip2 modules. By default, Perl will use an internal copy of the sources of the build. Issue the following command so that Perl will use the libraries instead installed on the system. Okay, so we're exporting these variables to the shell. Basically, we are setting up these variables. Okay. To have full control over the way Perl is set up, you can remove the hyphen does des option from the following command and hard pick the way this package is built. Alternatively, use the command exactly as below to use the default that Perl auto detects. I think I'll go with the auto detect. If you don't want, maybe we were supposed to do the hyphen des. Let's configure uh, the meaning of the configuration options. Here the vendor prefix is user. This ensures Perl knows how to tell packages where they should install their Perl modules. The pager is user bin less ISR. This ensures that less is used instead of more. Okay. The man one dir uses shared man one, and the man 3 dir user share man 3. Since graph is installed yet, configure things that we do not want man pages for Perl. Issuing these parameters overrides this decision. User use uses hrplib build a shared libperl needed by some Perl modules. The use threads build Perl with support of threads. The privlib, the archlib, the sitelib. These settings define where Perl is looking for installed modules. The LFS editor choose to put them in a directory structure based on the major and that minor version of Perl 5.34, which allows upgrading Perl to newer patch levels 5.34.0 without the need to reinstall all the modules again. Okay, that's why we need these options. Okay, let it configure. The next is make and make install. I'm not going to test it or run the tests. The contents of Perl, it has a lot of programs installed. The core list command front into module core list. cpan interacts with the comprehensible archive network from the command line. enc2xs builds a Perl extension for encode module from either Unicode character mapping to TCL encoding file. enc guess is the encoding type of one or several files. Like this, there are a lot of programs. I have not used most of this. Well, the main things would Perl combine some of the best features of C, SED, AWK, and SH into a single Susami language. Like a lot of people have worked on Perl programming, Perl scripting. Basically, this is what it is. Perl 5. It's a hard link to the Perl. Perl bug generates a bug report over the Perl or module that comes with it and mails them. PACon, a Perl version character encoding converter. Okay. Prove command line tool for running tests against test harness module. Okay, these are some things which are used internally. Probably that's okay. What is plain does? Plain is used for verbose warning diagnostics in Perl. Okay. A tar-like program written in Perl. Okay. Shasam prints checks SHA checksums. Okay. Port to text converts port data format ASCII text. So these are some conversion utilities programs. ಹೊರಗೆ ನಾನು ನೋಡಂತೆ. ಹ್ಮ್ ಹ್ಮ್ ಹುಷಾರ್. Okay, now we the configuration is done. Let's compile it. It's going to take some time because it has a lot of programs to build. Okay, now that we have compiled Perl, let's compile the parser. Now tar xvf will extract the parser, XML parser. Hope the XML. What is its name? Is it just the parser or XML parser? XML-parser. Okay, quit. Okay, tar xvf XML parser. Okay, now cd to XML parser. Then the prepare XML parser for compilation. Okay, I think it's executed in the Perl. So let's configure it. This XML parser module is a Perl interface to James Clark's XML parser expert. Okay, now that it is done, okay, it looks good. And then we make it, we build it. Okay, and then I'm not going to run the test. The contents is it provides a Perl expert interface. Nothing much. Okay, now that it is done, let's make install. Okay, now we will move to Intl Tools. The Intl Tools is an internationalization tool used for extracting translatable string from source files. Okay, now let's go back. Now they remove the XML parser source means sources. Now it is now let's build extract the Intl Tools, then cdz Intl Tools, then installation of the tool. First, fix a warning that caused by the Perl 5.2.2, so 5.22, sorry, and later. So let's correct it. The above local expression looks unusual because all the backslashes, what it does is add a backlash before the right face character in the sequence. Okay, in the sequence resulting in okay. Just okay, then the prepare in Intl Tools compilation. Okay, don't think so it's going to take more time. Well, now that it is done, let's make -j for compilation. Now it's compiled and make install. Okay, we're installing it. I think it is pretty quick. Copy it, then paste it. Well, it's basically we are basically it's installing the docs. The contents of init tools is init tool prepare a package to use init tool. Init tool extract it generates header files that can be ready by gettext. Merge translated string into various files. Then init tool prepare updates pot files and merges them with translation file. Init tool updates pivot template files and merges. Okay, now let's compile for the autoconf. Before that, let's come back cd dot dot, then come back to okay, then remove the uh, intl tools, then extract the autoconf, autoconf, then cd to autoconf. Okay, then the autoconf package contains programs for producing shell scripts that can automatically configure source code. Okay, it's basically configuration of the source code. Installation of autoconf. Let's configure it. My son is making a lot of noise. Hope it's not disturbing. And then make -j. So we're compiling it. It's compiled. I don't think so it'll take much time. Okay, now it's compiled. I'm not going to run the test. I will straight away install it. Make install. Okay. The contents of autoconf is autoconf produces shell scripts that automatically configure software source code packages to adapt to many kinds of Unix-like systems. The configuration script to produce are independent. Running them do not require the autoconf program. Okay, there are some other tools. I'll not go in detail in the interest of time. And then let's move on to automake. Then before that we will remove the autoconf directory, then extract the automake. Automake packet contains programs for generating make files for use with autoconf. Okay, then oh not autoconf, automake. Okay, cd to automake, then installation of automake. Let's prepare it. Let's configure automake compilation. Okay, auto contents or all AC local generate AC local .m4 files based on the contents of configure in files. Okay, first let's install it. Make J to install. Then AC local. Okay, just okay. The automake, a tool for automatically generating makefile.in files from makefile.am file. Okay, to create all the makefile.in files for a package. Run in this program on top level directory. By scanning the config.in file, it automatically finds each appropriate makefile.am file and generates the corresponding makefile.in file. Okay, then automake, a hard link to automake. Okay, 1.6. That's fine. Think now that we have compiled it, and then now we will install install install. Okay, now we're done with the automake. Then come back, then remove the automake source files, then tar xvf for extracting OpenSSL. Now we'll build for OpenSSL. Looks like it's a little bit bigger module, bigger package. The Openssl package contains management tools and libraries relating to cryptography. These are useful for providing cryptographic functions to other packages, such as OpenSSH, email applications, and web browsers. Okay, now let's configure the OpenSSL. Okay, okay, no such file because I had to uh, cd to OpenSSL, did not change the directory, and now it is working. The contents of OpenSSL or the C rehash is a Perl script that scans all files in a directory and adds symbolic links to the hash values. OpenSSL is a command line tool for using various cryptographic functions of OpenSSL's crypto library from the shell. It can be used for various functions which are documented in man1 OpenSSL. libcrypto.so implements a wide range of cryptographic algorithms used in various internet standards. The services provided by this library are used by the OpenSSL implementations of SSL, TSL, and SMIME, and they have also been used to implement OpenSSH, OpenPGP, and other cryptographic standards. The libssl.so implements the transport layer security TSL v1 protocol. It provides a rich API documentation on which can be found by running the man3 SSL. Okay. Okay, now the configuration is done. Now let's make this for build. It looks it's gonna take some time. Let's wait until it finishes. Well, now that the OpenSSL is built, let's install it. Make install. I'm not going to run the tests. That's fine. Oh, before that, we were supposed to do some things like uh, install the package. Need to make this change before I do the installation. Okay, and make man's okay man suffix ssl install. Okay, I missed it. That's okay. I think now it will be installed correctly. Then we need to add the version of the documentation directory name to be consistent with other packages. Basically, we are moving the basically it's for the documentation. We are moving it to user share doc openssl with user share doc openssl 3.0.1. Basically renaming it, moving it to proper directory. There is a note. You should update OpenSSL when a new version which fixes vulnerabilities is announced. The release run in series with a letter for each release after the initial release. Example 1.1.1, 1.1a or b, etc. Because LFS installs only the shared libraries, there is no need to recompile the package, which links to libcrypto.so, libssl.so when unplugging in the same series. However, any running programs like to those libraries need to be stopped and restarted. Read the related entries in section 80 to upgrade issues for the detail. Anyways, that we will see later. Okay, now the installation is done. Let's move the documentation to proper location, and if desired, yes, let's install the other documentation. Okay, now that we have finished the OpenSSL, come back to sources and then remove the OpenSSL sources. Then tar extract xpf kmode, then cd to kmode, then the prepare kmode for the configuration. Okay, what is kmode for? Kmode package contains libraries and utilities for loading kernel modules. Okay, and meaning of the configure option. With OpenSSL, this option enables kmode to handle PKC57 signatures of kernel modules. With exe, with zlib, and with zstd, these options enable kmode to handle compressed kernel modules. Okay, Contains dpmod create dependency file because on the symbols it finds in the existing set of modules. This dependency file is used by modprob to automatically load the required modules. Modprob is used to attach a module or driver to the kernel. Okay, then we do make. Okay, and then insmod installs a loadable module in the running kernel. Kmod loads and unlocks kernel modules. lsmod list currently loaded modules. Mod info examines an object file associated with the kernel module and displays any information that it can glean. Modprob uses a dependency file created by dmop to automatically load relevant modules. rmmod unloads modules from running kernel. libkmod, this library is used by other programs to load and unload kernel modules. This is more towards working with the kernel modules. Let's install. There's no test suite for this. It's okay. And then let's run this for loop where in these modules to ln sv, basically we're linking these binaries to the target, and then also linking the ls mode here, kmod, the ls mode. Okay, now that it's done, let's move on to libelf. See, come back and then remove the kmod sources, and then extract the elf utils. Okay, the libelf is a library for handling elf files, executable and linkable format files. Libelf is part of the elf utils. The use of elf utils are as the source bar. Use the elf utils as a source star bar. Okay, exactly. This is what we've done now. Then we'll extract it. Okay, let's go to elf utils, and then we prepare for the compilation. The contents are libelf. It's a library, so that's it. This, because elf also, I think elf will also have other libraries, so what we're interested is in only libelf. Okay, then we build it, make fnj. I'm not going to run the tests after the installation, after the build. Okay, now that the build is done, let's install only the ELFS package, ELFS library, ELF. Then we are installing the config lib elf.pc to user lib package config. Then remove the static library. Okay, now let's move on to libfi. So we first will remove the elf utils sources, then extract the libffi, then cd to libffi. The libffi library provides a portable high-level programming interface to various calling conventions. This allows programmers to call any function specified by a call interface description at runtime. Okay, so let's configure it. Similar to GMP, libfi builds with optimization specific to the processor in use. If building for other systems, export C flag to specify C++ CXX flags to specify a generic build for your architecture. If this is not done, all the applications that links to libc will trigger illegal operation errors. Okay. The meaning of the configuration option with GCC awk native ensures GCC optimizes for the current system. If this is not specified, the system is guessed and the code generated may not be correct for some systems. If the generated code will be copied from a native system to a less capable system, use the less capable system as a parameter. For the details about alternative systems, see the x86 options in GCC manual. Okay, now let's first start the build. Then disable exxx stat tramp. Disable static trampoline support. It's a new security feature in libffi, but some BLF packages, notably GJS and object introspection, have not been adopted for it. Okay, the contents is FFI library. Okay, now this is done. I will not run the tests straight away. I will go for the installation. Now let's build for the Python module. Before that, we remove the lib, sorry, lib module, sorry, sources. Then extract -xvf Python package at the docs python.2. Okay, don't we have Python package? Python. Okay, we have only the okay, let's download Python package. This is what we want. Okay, FTP. Okay, the clock is behind. This happens for me every time because I take a snapshot of the virtual machine and then I run the when I load it, obviously the time will be delayed. Copy it and then let's okay, let's just do this. Okay, now the time is set. Basically what happens is the Google Chrome checks the current time of the PC of the machine, and then that's how it tries to load the content. Yes, now it is fine. So we want the tar. Okay, we want this package. This is what we want to download. Yes, it's downloaded. Well, now let's cd to. Okay, don't worry. Let's ls hyphen. No, okay, sorry. ls. Where are we now? We are in the home ELP. Then ls here. ls downloads. Okay, we have only this. Then cp downloads. Oh, not the cd. I was supposed to type cp. Okay. Then this file we wanted to copy to mount lfs. Under that you have sources. Okay, great. Okay, now let's see if it is copied here. Yes, we have Python. Okay, why it is not there? Okay, let me just ls mount lfs sources. Here if you see we have Python. Let's just see ls hyphen l to see the permissions here. Okay, I have to remove gcc. I had not done it yet. Well, python. Okay, but why I am not able to see in here? Let's close this. This is a little bit strange. Okay, I have it here because it's in the capital letters. That's fine. Okay, now let's extract our xvf python. Okay, let's extraction is going on. The Python package contains Python development environment. It is useful for object-oriented programming, writing scripts, Python prototyping large programs, or developing entire application. Yeah, nowadays Python is uh, extremely, I would say, successful programming language because it is used in all over the place. Okay, now let's prepare Python for compilation. The meaning of the configure options with system expat. This switches enables linking against system version of expat. With system FFI, this switch enables linking against the version of lib FFI which we recently built. With ensure pip, yes, this switch enables building pip and setup tools, packaging programs, enable optimizations. This switch enables state but expensive optimizations. Okay, what it contains is 2 to 3. This is a Python program that reads Python 2.x source code and applies a series of fixes to transform it into a valid 3.x code. Idle 3 is a wrapper script that opens a Python-aware GUI editor. For this script to run, you must have installed TK before Python so that the Tinker Python module is built. pip3, the package installer for Python. You can use pip to install packages from Python package index and other indexes. PyDoc3 is the Python documentation tool. Python 3 is an interpreted interactive object-oriented programming language. Okay, this is what we're going to build now. Python is very useful for, as I said, for automation in embedded world. We extensively use this for automation purpose, where we automate a lot of stuff with respect to testing and other stuff. Well, now the configuration is done. Let's build it. It's going to take some time. Let's wait. And running the test at this point is not recommended. The tests are known to hang indefinitely in the partial LFS environment. If desired, the test can be rerun at the end of this chapter or when Python 3 is reinstalled in BLFS. To run the test anyway, issue make test. Anyways, I will not do that. So let's wait for the compilation to finish. We'll know that it is built. Then we will install. The next is we will install the formatted documentation also. Meaning the documentation install command no same owner and no same permissions. Ensure The installed files have correct ownership and permissions. Without these options, using tar will install the package files with the upstream creator's value. Okay. Since there are a lot of files, it's taking more time for installation than expected. Okay, now that it's installed, let's install the documentation, and let's extract documentation and install the project, please. Okay, now that we installed Python, so that's all for this episode. The next episode we will compile and install from Ninja. Yeah, and please subscribe to this channel. Leave your valuable feedback in the comment section. Thanks for watching.